It was around 1 a.m., the dead of night in suburban Chicago. This was the first time I'd ever been alone with my Aunt Megan in her quiet house on Elm Street. The power was completely out. No lights, no hum of appliances, just thick darkness everywhere. In that blackout, Aunt Megan's stunning face seemed to glow even more, and she was lost in a deep, peaceful sleep. Watching her rest so calmly stirred something restless inside me, a strange unease that hit me all at once. They say when the night is heavy and loneliness creeps in, darker impulses take over. That night, they overpowered me, and for the first time, I took advantage of her isolation for nearly 2 hours straight. Aunt Megan was only 5 years older than me, fresh out of college herself at 25, incredibly beautiful and full of life. She'd been married just 2 months when her husband, Uncle Mark, took a job overseas in Europe, leaving her alone in their cozy 2-story home. She got overwhelmed by the smallest issues and would call my mom right away, but I hated listening to family drama, so I'd bolt out the door whenever I could to escape it. That day, coming back from the University of Illinois campus, I saw her at our house in Naperville, looking totally distressed. "What's wrong, Aunt Megan?" I asked. With tears welling up, she explained the power had been cut since morning because she forgot to pay the bill on time. "You know Mark's abroad," she said. "I'm handling everything alone here. I must have misplaced the bill and forgot." I comforted her and said, "Come with me. I'll get a duplicate and pay it right now." She perked up, and hungry as I was, I headed out with her anyway. We got the bill reprinted at the utility office, paid it, and by the time we got back, night had fallen hard, power still off. Stepping inside, I couldn't see a thing, so I flicked on my phone's flashlight. As the beam hit her face, a wild thought crossed my mind. "Go sit in the bedroom," I told her. "I'll figure out some light." She admitted, "I get scared of the dark. That's why I brought you along." I gently put my hand on her shoulder and said, "No need to worry. You're not alone." I took her hand, led her to the bed, and sat her down. "I'll be right back." As I turned to leave, she grabbed my arm in fear and pulled me into a hug. My heart raced. I calmed her, saying I'd handle the lights, and she relaxed. Outside the room, I plotted how to exploit the solitude without raising suspicion. She trusted me completely as her nephew, but to satisfy my urges, I needed a clever plan. I mixed a strong sleep aid into a glass of warm milk and brought it to her. Power still out, she drank it without question and started chatting, pouring out her worries. She suspected Uncle Mark had found someone else abroad. He barely called, never mentioned returning. Talking about him, she broke down, crying. I pulled her close, assuring her he wouldn't do that. She sobbed against my chest while I waited for the drug to kick in, eager to fulfill my intentions. Soon, she was out cold, looking like a delicate doll in her pink nightgown. My restlessness peaked. I wanted this badly. I spent the entire night taking full advantage, exhausting myself until I crashed on her bed too. Morning came, and I woke to her staring at me angrily. "What happened? Why the glare?" I asked, panicking she might know. But she just said, "Half the day's gone and you're still asleep. Go home, your mom's worried." I pouted. "Mom worries over nothing. I'm not a stranger. You're family." I pulled her beside me affectionately. She pushed back. "No need for that. Why sleep in my bed? There are other rooms or the couch." I felt a twinge of guilt, but played it off, got ready, and left. Mom was fuming. "You left yesterday and returned now?" I explained Aunt Megan feared the dark and now with power back she'd be fine. Mom grumbled about her sister's paranoia, thinking Mark had remarried, always needing constant calls while he slaved away abroad. 2 days passed without me visiting, but I craved another chance. Returning from hanging with friends one evening, I saw Mom making paneer curry. I casually mentioned, "Aunt Megan loves this stuff. If her place wasn't so close, I'd drop some off." Mom adored her despite complaints and packed a container. "It's 5 minutes on your bike. Go." I pretended reluctance but was thrilled. At her house in the quiet Lincoln Park neighborhood, She was about to eat and lit up seeing the food. I joined her for dinner, then requested tea. No rush to leave. We played board games like Scrabble. I'd called Mom saying Aunt Megan insisted I stay. A lie. I nagged her about looking weak, not drinking milk regularly. "No one to make it," she said. "That's my job now," I replied, warming some and spiking it with the sleep aid. She beamed. "Every niece should have a nephew like you. With Mark gone, you make it bearable. I used to wonder how I'd manage alone." I smiled inwardly. She had no clue about my hidden motives. She drank. We played a bit more. Then she dozed off in her room. Opportunity struck again. I indulged all night, then cleverly moved to the couch with a pillow to avoid suspicion. Next morning, we woke around the same time. "You stayed. Your mom will worry," she said. I told her. "She's relieved you have company." By afternoon, I headed home. Mom warned, "Focus on studies. Don't become her servant or ruin your life." I defended. "She's your sister, alone and struggling. Helping isn't bad. I'll guard her place nightly. Neighbors say thieves are rampant in her area lately." Mom fretted but agreed, as long as I returned mornings or went straight to classes. Dad would be strict otherwise. I planted the theft fear in Aunt Megan, too, sharing scary local break-in stories from the news. She got terrified. Now, every night I'd arrive with milk, dose it, and wait for her to sleep before starting. It became routine. She'd even invite me to stay. Mom stopped worrying since I attended lectures regularly. Managing exhaustion from nights was tough, but I handled it. Then suspicion crept in. One night with the milk, she said, "Lately, something feels off. I sleep so deeply, never wake once, unlike before. And cleaning this evening, I found something in the trash that shocked me." Sweat poured down me. I knew what it was, but feigned ignorance. "What is it? Why so upset?" She stared deeply, shook her head. "Never mind, not for kids like you." She finished the milk, chatted, and I laughed inside. She still saw me as innocent, unaware of my nightly games. She slept. I resumed, thrilled at how easily I'd trapped her. No suspicion of the drugs. But then, the neighbor lady stopped by. Said weird things I didn't get. I jolted. What neighbor? What did she say? She claimed seeing odd scenes through the window at night. Thinks a guy was here. Panic hit. The previous night I'd invited my 2 college buddies over, and we'd all taken advantage together. I hadn't known nosy Mrs. Harlan next door watch so late. To deflect, "Don't let neighbors in. They know you're alone, spreading rumors. Tomorrow they'll slander your reputation." She bought it. "You're right. If she says she saw someone, next it'll be an affair. What then?" I rested my hand on her shoulder. "The world's cruel. Folks want to destroy homes. If they tell Mark's family lies, you're in trouble. Be strict. No meddling in your affairs." She thanked me. "Smart advice. Won't let them near anymore." My naive aunt trusted blindly, giving me ultimate leverage. Post that, she cut off neighbors entirely. I became her sole fixer. She'd call for tiniest issues. I'd rush over. Nights, milk, dose, indulge. Started alone, then invited friends gradually. We'd share the deep sleep benefits. Thought my secret was ironclad. Wrong. One night, the unthinkable. Aunt Megan's eyes snapped open mid-act. She stumbled out to the living room where my friends and I were with 2 girls we'd brought for the party. Music low, drinks flowing, everyone entangled in the chaos. But wait, that's not all. She'd seen everything, including a shadowy figure lurking outside the window earlier. Someone I'd noticed following me for days but dismissed as paranoia. Her face twisted in horror. My friends bolted in panic. She grabbed my shoulders. "What the hell is this?" Terrified, I lied. "Just studying with friends." She slapped me hard. "I saw it all. You partying with drugs. Those girls throwing themselves at you and your buddies. No shame at this age. You're no blood of mine." Guilt crushed me. "I just wanted parties. Mom won't allow it home. She's old-fashioned, hates my friends. You sleep after milk, I invite them. No big deal, just fun. Another slap. Fun? That's addiction. Think of your path. Your mom sacrifices everything, works double shifts for your Ivy League dreams at U of I. She choked her own wants for your admission, and you waste it on degenerate friends. I went silent. She continued. Future. You're her only son. Fail, and her dreams die. Those friends drag you to sin. Threatening to call Mom, my world spun. I begged on my knees. Don't, it'll break her. She cried, should have thought before. I skipped milk tonight. Figured the deep sleep was you drugging me to turn my home into a den of vice, inviting strangers and those girls. Shame on you, nephew. Sobbing on the couch, I pleaded forgiveness at her feet. But she kicked me out that midnight. Never step here again. I slunk home. Mom worried seeing me. Lied about feeling sick, no sleep there. Fear gnawed. If she told, Dad's wrath would end me. But she stayed silent, only demanding I ditch those friends. I did, but semester results. Failed miserably. Mom devastated, Dad heartbroken, promised hardcore study. Truth, those friends partied wild at home, brought girls, pushed substances. I joined via Aunt Megan's place for the privacy. Exposed, I quit cold turkey. Habit wasn't deep yet. Months later, life shifted. I buried myself in books, aced makeup exams, but a gnawing void grew, guilt mixed with unresolved rage at her for nearly ruining me. Then, the twist. That shadowy figure I'd seen? It was Jake, my old friend I'd cut off. Bitter, I'd ditched the group. He'd been stalking, jealous of my escape, and one night he broke in while I was away, leaving anonymous notes at her door hinting at my past deeds to torment us both. Aunt Megan, piecing it with her suspicions, confronted me again, but this time, broken. The psychological toll wrecked her. Sleepless nights, therapy sessions, fearing every shadow. Uncle Mark finally returned, divorce papers in hand, believing rumors Jake amplified online anonymously. Revenge burned in me. I tracked Jake through mutual contacts, confronted him in a dingy Chicago bar. Words turned to fists. I exposed his stalking to cops with evidence from her security cam I'd installed for protection. He got arrested for harassment. But the real vengeance? I anonymously sent Aunt Megan recordings from that final night. Her own cries, my pleas, making her relive the betrayal, questioning if she'd overreacted or enabled it by trusting too much. She spiraled, moving away, family ties severed. Now, in my senior year, top of class, I reflect in this Naperville home. What began as curiosity and darkness ended in emotional ruins, psychological scars, and cold revenge. Aunt Megan's loneliness was my weapon, her discovery my downfall, but my calculated payback ensured she never forgot the monster she helped create. Some secrets destroy from within, mine trending in whispers, but the full truth. Only I know the depths.